All right, hello everybody, and welcome back to the best of ECL highlights. Just 1 week remaining now until the LAN, and this game sort of shows us why Suomi finished third. A very well played game. They were very prepared, came at it with a solid plan. Stonewall's a solid plan. They basically full sling max in the early game, and they know exactly what they're doing for this map. They've looked at the layout and they've come prepared, which is really good to see. In this big team game tournament. This one casted by the Australian duo, Robo, and Barbecue Turkman, who I apologize does have a bit of a potato microphone in this game. It was a really good game though, hence being in this series. Enjoy the video.
Yeah, like what sort of crazy strats are we going to see next? Are we going to see douching again? We're going to see full stonewalls? What's happening? What's going to happen?
Well, that's it.
Let's see.
I'd never expect it twice.
No.
Never expect it twice.
Never. In the pocket position for AM in the north side, we have Hart as the Indians. Obviously a powerful civ as pocket, especially with their strong camels. On his flank, we have Hera as the Portuguese. The opposite pocket for them, we've got Slavs, MBL in the grey here, and then Leary in the flank as Mayans. Ooh, those are two really key civs, Mayans and Indians, and also Slavs are really powerful. So I feel like, overlay. Derp. Never mind, guys. Procaster here.
All good. We got there. Towards the west of the map, in the purple, we do have the Max as the Goth. Towards his south of position, we have Rubenstock, the utter legend of the douche, in the yellow, playing as the Turks. Just down further from him, we do have Valisi in the orange, playing as the Slavs, and his far right going to be on the flank. We do have Zupi in the red as the Kema.
Ooh, that's actually really interesting for Kemo. For Zupi as the Kemo. He's so far away from his pocket, and fairly close to Leary, so we could see quite a bit of aggression coming into him. Especially with the Mayans, right? Mayans are quite powerful. Oh, but we've got Leary stealing a ball already early in the game. Getting in there.
Look, I think that's a little bit of payback for last game. I'll give him this one. Like, it's not too lamey after kind of what we witnessed there. So, could be alright. Could be alright for them. Let's have a look. Leary's really been coughing it this kind of time around, though. He's always been on the flank quite close to one of his opponents, but at the same time, he's been proven his worth time after time. He's managed to just hold and stall, or be kind of the saving grace for his team, potentially. Not quite so lucky in the last game, but still, could be worse. But he manages to get the ball home, and there we go.
Well, I think especially in the first game on Step, he was just key. He held out against Max almost by himself for quite a while until MBL came and saved him, and then once MBL left to go save the other side, he continued to hold and allowed them to swing that fight on the other side. So I'm expecting him to do similar things, right? Mayans, we know they're one of the most powerful civs in the game. You know, Castle Age, Plumed Archers, possibly even Sling into Imp for more Plumed Archers, possibly Eagles, but probably just mass Plumes. It's probably going to be the carry. Like, they need Leary to carry this game as Mayans.
Yeah, and I think that's the option. Leary, again, it kind of falls down to you here in terms of how you're going to play this one, and I guess it's all about the late game for him. Obviously, he kind of moves in. He's got a pretty good look. Their early Imperial's pretty good. The Castle's pretty good, but I guess the point is he has to get there. And the problem is Zupi as well could play this super aggressively. I guess Kama, obviously not the strongest civ we've kind of had at the moment, probably one of the least figured out civs. So I guess it shouldn't be too hard with a powerhouse like Mines, like you were saying, to hold this one off, but I'm not sure.
Well, I think, like, at this point, AM are really all in on their civs, right? They've got three incredibly powerful civs, Mayans, Slavs, and Indians, and then Portuguese, because they need to have an extra civ from the civ pool. And Portuguese, they're kind of okay. They're a decent sling civ. The free Cardo is really useful in the early game like this, where you can see exactly, you know, where to do team walls, where to push together, stuff like that. So, it's pretty powerful. But I think the other thing that we need to think about, like, which I've just seen pointed out in chat, Max as the Goths. Okay?
I know.
Right?
I'm excited.
Like, I think, considering that we've seen Sling from Suomi in all of the games so far, all of them to Max, I think it's likely that we're going to see another Sling to the Max as the Goths here. I think it's quite likely.
If we see a full Goth spam across this series really has it all and might actually go down as the best series in ECL at this stage. If we get, you know, a douche strategy into a full Goth spam, I am just excited for what this can kind of bring. And against Portuguese as well, I guess like you were saying, Portuguese can potentially be seen as the sling sieve here, the one that's really going to kind of give it away. Not really too much they can do in the early game, not too much they've really kind of built up for. But if Goss just kind of kicks it into overdrive from the get-go, gets the sling, gets into Castle Edge, starts that production, moves into Imperial, there's not too much that Harry is going to be able to do apart from sit there and go, oh no, and slowly get overrun.
Well, I feel like if Hera is slinging, I don't think Max would focus on him. I assume that he would go straight over and try to harass Leary or probably MBL. Because, like, Indians don't really worry the Goths. Like, nice, you've got camels. I'm just going to make 150 halberdiers. Like, it doesn't mean much. But, like, Slavs, once they get their unique tech Drazinia, their champions are so incredibly strong at killing infantry. Right? So I think MBL is probably going to be, like, the dark horse of this game. If we see this game play out as we expect with Sling into Goths. If he can boom up, maybe get Sling himself into his own champions, then maybe they can keep this going. The problem really is going to be like, Huskarls versus Plumed Archers. It's not going to be great in the early game for Leary.
This is good. I like it. It's a really good idea. So move straight from the max and looking at the walls is kind of got going on here. He wants to play this a little bit defensively, so we know he's going to kind of go for at least a boom strategy behind this, especially as Goths. But yeah, if he kind of just moves straight across the middle of the map there, takes out MBL, and then I guess the thing as well, Mines, obviously Huskarl's not going to be too much of an issue there. So I guess kind of if he starts that way and just works his way counterclockwise around the map, it could be potentially what we see here.
Yeah, and like something else that we need to point out about this map is that each player only has their one main gold pile on their like flat area near their base. Everything else is on this sort of stepped hill heading up towards the middle of the map. All the stone, all the gold, and all these little small patches of wood, which make it really difficult to control extra resources during the middle of the game, simply because you can't easily, wall off the middle of the map. You have to go literally all the way from one side of the map to the other if you want to secure all these resources.
I guess that's the question behind this as well. Just looking at the civilization choices and the fact that everyone's kind of slowly getting to feudal age now, no one's doing anything ridiculous. Who do you think has kind of the better win when it kind of comes down to taking map control?
Well, Goths can just make so many units so quickly. Like, they can just cover the middle of the map with army, which, in like the mid game is probably going to be really powerful. But I think at the very beginning, I think AM are probably going to take control. Because I would assume, judging by the up times, there's going to be at least some sort of scout aggression from somebody. Okay, yeah, so Hart is probably going to make some scouts. Leary is, I guess, just going Drush. Not even Drush. He's just going straight FC into Plumes, it looks like, at this point. Oh,
look, could be worse.
Yeah. Oh, but Vilese was almost open. He had a one-tile gap in his base that he didn't notice, but luckily he got there to wall up just in time. Only Hera managed to get his scout into his base. That could have been bad.
That's good play from AM.
Right, it could have been 3 or 4 scouts into his base all of a sudden, and that would just slow him down.
That's really good play from AM, though, and this shows you their communication. Everyone was kind of there, ready to go the moment they spotted it. So really good on that front. And I guess Hart's kind of sitting over at the max now, kind of just trying to see what's going on. We do have the max on stone, so obvious kind of choice from him there. Is throwing up his market as well, and he's on gold as well.
Yep, and he's already being slung by Rubenstock. So he's going to be up.
And I guess Rubenstock is Turks?
Yeah.
Kind of expected,
obviously not a powerful civ.
Not yet, anyway.
Not yet. Yeah. Maybe we can get some balance changes to fix them at some point. I guess like if they get to the late game,
fingers crossed.
Once the game gets to like post imp, once the sling is no longer needed, I guess obviously spamming bombard towers, bombard cannons, bombard hand cannons,
things with cannonballs.
Right? Yeah, things that shoot guns and stuff will be good. But until then, it's very much just I'm just gonna hide behind my walls and sling my resources to my good buddy Max.
Well, let's hope the Max can bring it. I'm going to jump over on him, and let's have a look at the resources kind of got in the bank. So already, 500 food, 600 gold, 420 stone. So going to be able to get that castle down nice as early, and look at that. He's just about got the resources to go Imperial as well. Rubenstock and Zupi working with the sling here as well, actually. Man, that's really game of Zupi sitting right next to Leary as well, actually going for that.
Yeah, so we've got double sling to Max, and Vilese's up to Castle Age, but he's only got Market Blacksmith. So is he going to just boom at home, I guess?
Could be the option. I guess playing as Slavs. I'm not sure. Sorry, guys, if the commentary seems a bit weird, but we're trying to kind of understand how this match flow is going to work at the moment. I think we've got a pretty strong handle on it, but still such a weird kind of matchup in terms of what we're seeing, especially with something like Goth there for the ridiculous push. It's just we're trying to figure out how this is going to flow, just so we can kind of get an idea of how this is going to play out for the rest of the game, so everyone knows kind of what to expect.
I think for sure it looks like Vilete is going to boom, right? He's got 700 wood in the bank. He's got almost 200 stone, so he's just going to drop some TCs, boom, possibly even switch into Castle Sling, but I hope not. I think it'd probably be best for him to switch into, just boom into Imperial Age to support Max so that he's not all by himself for the entire game.
At this stage, I'm not so worried about Max. Max already has the resources to go Imperial, so I don't think that's going to be an issue. I think, you're exactly right. Valise is going to be basically the backup for the Max here, the self-supporting. Because looking at it, he hasn't done any Sling. Looking at his resources as well, he's looking pretty good on that front. He's got the double town center coming up, so he will be on the 3. It's just a matter of finding a way to make it work. We do have Leary coming up with a castle of his own, just towards the high ground there as well, going to secure his stone. So I guess that's going to be the thing to push against. And I guess, are we seeing any Sling at the moment for AM?
I believe that Hera has been slinging probably a little bit to both MBL and Leary, I would guess.
Gotcha.
Because Heart is not a priority at this time. No, he's slinging Leary fully. So Leary's going to be up to Imp very soon. He just needs a little bit more food and he'll be up. And then I guess mass plumed archers. But
looking towards MBL as well. 3 town centers from him. So he's kind of got that self-sufficient boom going on as well. And I guess Heart, like you were saying, not exactly priority. Getting his town centers up now as well, though. So moving towards 3. So I guess the big difference we're going to see here, Max is going to be up into Imperial with double Sling, whereas we've got Leary up towards Imperial with single Sling. So we'll figure out how it goes.
Yeah, but the problem is, though, like, Huskarls really murder plumes, especially when you can make, 40 Huskarls in, 3 minutes. And, oh, wow, Max is even making petards, so he's ready to bust a wall somewhere and get into someone's base and just completely kill them.
That's it, and I don't know how they're going to kind of defend against this. This is the issue we're running into, and this is the moment we've kind of been building up here too, guys, with, the slower commentary, figuring out exactly how this is going to play. He's got the petards there ready to go.
Yeah, and
is he just gonna...
Heart must know what's happening. Heart's scout was there. He just got killed by Max's scout, but he saw 3 barracks, right? And they've realized that 2 of their opponents are still feudal age. There has to be some sort of big sling coming into Max at this point. AM, they're not dummies, okay? They know what's happening. The problem is just going to be how they're going to defend this, right?
That's it, and I'm worried, because looking at the way the backs and things are going, the Max is going to do a quick sweep of Hera, just put 10 Huskarls in there, walk away, and then just move on. And I don't know if we'll just be able to... 10 Huskarls doesn't seem like a lot, but when you're feudal age, what do you do about that?
Nothing. And remember, feudal age walls, they've only got enough HP that 1 petard busts them in, and oh no, here go the Huskarls. They are in. Oh boy. Hera is officially dead already. He may not know it yet, but he is dead.
Minute 21. Huskarl's one of the more brutal units you can have in the game. And look at this. They are killing villagers so quickly. And even then, the Huskarls, they get through building so quickly as well.
Yeah.
Look at this. The town center, not going to do much about this. That's the first one. All right. So this is probably the plan at this stage. The Max, he's got enough units in here now. He can move on. This is going to be enough damage to put Hera down for a long time. Basically what we saw in the last game with... Well, I should say the first game where Rubenstock was acting as the Sling, but then kind of got hit by a couple of scouts, and that was about it. But Goth's about to prove their worth.
The thing is, though, MBL's up to Imp as well. He's dropping barracks in the middle of the map. He's getting scale mail armor. He's going to be going for champions in the middle of the map. So
absolutely, but look at this. We've already got the Max throwing down barracks is literally just in front of MBL.
Right there. Obviously, that should get denied by the single militia. Yep, coming over right now.
But remember how quick those Goth units come out. If he needs to, he can just pump out 1 Huskarl and deal with it.
Yep, but oh no, Hera's doing the mass migration, but there are Huskarls hunting down these villagers wherever they can find them. There's a scout from Rubenstock in the north, there's a couple Huskarls on the right. He's trying to make it to Heart, but Heart's stonewalling up, saying, nope, sorry, there's no space for you here. I don't want you to let in these Huskarls. You stay over there.
At the border.
Yep. Oh no.
We've only got 1 barracks at the front, the Max. Getting denied there by MBL. He did lose out in his villager sadly, because a couple of barracks there could have really helped for him. Another villager already heading out across the map. But look at this. Huskarls are already making their way over towards Heart. We've got Hera, who's pretty much dead in the water at this stage, losing those villagers so quickly. So quickly. This is brutal. MBL going up into long swords, though. Imperial Age on the way, getting all the upgrades he can behind this one. but will it be enough? At this stage, the dominance from the Max already is just brutal.
It's going to be bad. Like, the nice thing about their combination, though, is that Champions and Plumed Archers is pretty powerful because, you know, the Plumed Archers will kill the Gothic Champions, while the Slav Champions just kill every other infantry unit, basically. So they're in a good position if they can, you know, survive long enough for this to happen. Like, back at home, Max is not booming at all. He's still just 1 TC. He's spending all of his resources constantly on mass Huskarls, getting Arson, getting Blast Furnace and Conscription. He's just getting ready for full mass infantry production.
The castle nearly getting denied for Leary there on the east side as well. Looks like the stone walls are up just in time to deny that one. The long swords, though, are out for MBL, so they will be ready to challenge, but they still are lacking some major upgrades. Two-hand sword on the way as well, iron casting there. But look at this, the Huskarls, there's just so many of them. They're just being so dominant. And look at this, there's just a purple wave across the map now.
Yes.
More and more barracks being thrown down right in front of AM's bases there, right on the edge of the map. And man, how can it deal with it? We've got some Plumed Archers heading over towards the Max, but look at the Huskarls at home. They're there ready to deal with it already. 8+2 armor on these guys. Come on.
Like, these Plumed Archers, like, they're going to kill some vills, but Max doesn't really need his economy. He's being slung by... Even Villisay slinging him. He's being triple slung by 1 person in Castle Age and 2 guys in Feudal Age. He does not care. You can kill all of his villagers except for the ones that are building barracks, and he would be happy with that. As long as you don't touch his teammates.
That's it, and if he's out across the map everywhere like he is now, he's defending everyone. But look at this, the Plumes are inside the Max's base, gonna get some kills here. But like you said, he's running off 3 other players' economy at the moment. So, look at this, and the amount... How quickly he's gonna pump those Huskarls out, they're just gonna deal with these Plumes so quickly.
And not even that, like, he doesn't even need to stress about it that much. Like, he's more important to slow down MBL, I think. Because if MBL is able to get that massive champions... then he might have problems. But if he can keep destroying these barracks, keep picking off MBL's army before he can mass anything, then I think they're in a pretty powerful position at this point.
And look, great. And even behind that as well, with the Max, 2-hand swordsman on the way.
Yep. And he's even got a trebuchet on Heart Space, trying to chop down the single line of trees to get in. But Heart is no dummy. He builds the gates early. He's stonewalling off the wood line.
But that's going to be taken down so quick when it comes down to the trebuchet there as well. But look, yeah, like you were saying, extra coming up behind this, extra, read all about it, but this is enough to stop it.
Yeah.
Oh man, but looking at the front of Leary's base now, here comes the spam.
Yeah, these Plumed Archers, they're just dying instantly. Like, without Elite Plumed Archer and a good mass of like 50 plumes, there's nothing they can do against this many infantry at this point. Like, Max has got an almost 90 army by himself. AM combined have about 20. Like, I don't see how AM can win this game at this point, unless something miraculous happens.
The thing is as well, the Max isn't even just focusing on one player. He's absolutely everywhere. This is phenomenal. How are we going overall? There, we've got, Leary's base, Huskarls on the front. We've got MBL's base, we've got Huskarls on the front. We head over towards Heart, we've got Huskarls on the front. We've got a trebuchet there trying to help deal with that one. Herod right now, there's nothing left. It's just a husk of the base it used to be. We've got a massive team wall coming up as well from Suomi by looks of things as well. Vali's kind of starting there in the center. Zupi moving towards the center as well. And they're going to claim so much of this extra gold. And like you were saying really early on, every player only gets 1 gold next to their TC on the flat ground. Everything else is towards the middle of the map. And look, Plumes, we've got champions, all these units, they cost gold. And if the Max just keeps doing what he's doing, they're not going to be able to get to the extra gold spots.
That's it, exactly. And like, I think a bigger problem here, though, is that he just needs to deny MBL's farming economy. Because if you don't have food, you can't make champions. Because they're pretty cheap on the gold costs, right? But
True.
Like, all of his farms are in this one location, basically. If he just floods in Huskarls and just idles all the farmers, he's going to be in a pretty powerful position. He's just going to keep pushing in there, keep building barracks. He's even starting to make scorpions. So possibly he's looking at a heavy scorpion switch to help counter MBL's champions.
It's a good option. It's actually a really good option, but at the same time, MBL has just finished up his unique tech. That is going to be adding 5 extra damage to adjacent units. So this could be really good at stopping the Goth spam if he can get the units out. But like you were saying, Scorpion's there as well. This is understood at this point in time as to what's going on.
And MBL, he's still only got 20 army. Max has 70, right? Like even if his champions trade 2 for 1, Max still has more army left over at the end of the fight.
He's got easier kind of replay behind this as well. And look inside MBL's base. Huskarls are in. They're doing the damage. And just look at the walls here from Hart. Hart doesn't want to let it happen, but look, end of the day, it's going to get there. The walls are ridiculous.
This is the Great Wall of India, I guess.
And look at that, the Scorpions being so effective there versus the champs as well, actually really proving their use in this situation. Not even heavy Scorpions, just regular old Scorpions. This is phenomenal. And oh no, it looks like Hera has been found here in the back. The Huskarls again. Here comes the PTSD.
Oh boy, he's going to be so unhappy after this game. Like, I got killed on one side of the map, I moved to the other one, and the Huskarls, they still found me. It's like he's got tracking devices or something on me.
This is just not easy. This has been a phenomenal series thus far. It looks like, though, the Max, he's trying to find a way to push here, and he's still got the army count, like you were saying, but he can't really kind of get into the economy now. MBL has pushed him away. He is starting to get that champion count up, and with that elite tech, we'll make the trades a little bit better.
Ooh.
Heavy Scorpion on the way for the Max, though, so he does have an option there.
The problem is he doesn't really have any siege pushing buildings, but Leary is inside Villes's huge team wall, running around some plumes, looking for Vills to pick off, trying to just do some harassment to level the scores a little bit.
Look at the walls in front of Rubenstock, though. Look at those walls. It's the same as Hart.
Yeah, you can't get anywhere, though. Right? They're just running around hoping to find something to kill, and, you know, he kills 5 or 10 Vills. Nice. Villes's got 150. It doesn't really matter.
I guess the only thing I'm worried about here is every kind of moment this game goes, AM become more and more self-sufficient. You've got Hart on 121 villages, so that's looking pretty good on his front there, and he hasn't really been kind of copying it too much. But looking over there, you've got the same can be said to the other team as well. You've got Velisi on 147. He has his own economy ready to join the battle, and the thing is, like we were saying, he's good to things that shoot. That's going to be very, very good against the champion.
I think, to be honest, at this point, Velese is just going full sling. And remember, as Slavs, his farmers are really, really efficient. So he's just getting a huge amount of food in the bank and just sending it all straight over to Max to keep spamming this infantry.
Oh, it's good. It's really good. Look at this. You've even got Rubenstock finishing off that team wall there at the moment as well, which... a little bit weird choice considering where Valise's ends, but sure, we'll take it. Why not?
A little bit of wall is better than no wall, I think, at this point, is what they're thinking. Just every little bit helps.
That's it, but the Max, I don't know how he's going to be able to hold this one, because he's going to be against 3 players here very, very soon, and he's down to 55 military. Looking at it, you've got 25 for MBL, you've got 14 for Leary, and these players are getting more and more self-sufficient as they go. Obviously, the Scorpion's going to do heaps through his trades, but the Plumed Archer numbers are getting up here.
Yeah, but... the problem is, plumes are nice, but they still die to siege, like these Scorpions, and Huskarls are still really efficient until you get a huge, huge mass of them. But he's got some petards coming forwards. It looks like Leary is going to try to bust into Zupi's base, maybe? But the problem is, like, there's this one layer of wall out the front, and then, you know, 2 or 3 more behind that.
The outer shell will become compromised, but from there, it's not exactly going to get him too far.
It's like onions, right? There's just layers and layers.
I love it. I absolutely love it. This has been a ridiculous game already. The Max doing his best here to kind of keep the pressure on. He's doing a great job. The Scorpions are an awesome addition in there as well, helping cut down MBL very, very quickly. Like, that extra damage they're going to get the pass through, it's huge. But as soon as kind of the rest of Suomi transitions into the game, that's going to be where the issue is. The Max slowly building up his own economy behind this. He's up to 81 villages, which isn't bad.
Well,
and then
he's ahead of MBL, and MBL is his biggest counter at this point, and he has a stronger economy by himself, plus the triple sling.
That's it. I'm struggling here to find out how this one is going to work. Like you said, they're going to try and push in against Zupi, but I don't think it's going to kind of do too much here. End of the day, you're getting it, and that's it.
No, they're just like, no, we can't go any further. Max is just too strong when he has slung that many resources by all 3 players on his team. Just like the ultra hard carry by Max here.
Man, that's fantastic. I guess probably the one thing we didn't point out as well, the Kema just being absolutely useful here. +1 range on Scorpions for the team. Come on, can I go for the Kema?
Woohoo!
This is where it's at. Yep. Obviously the game deciding play there.
Definitely. Like, those Scorpions, they got quite a few kills. Without the Kema bonus, there wouldn't have been as many.
This was great. Suomi have been playing so well as a team, and this is what I was saying kind of from the issue here overall, is that we had so many people playing this as we kind of went into ECL, with just, you know, playing 4v4s as if it was 4 1v1s, or then 2 1v1s in the pockets, just kind of rolling in and steamrolling everyone. Whereas with this, there are strategies at play.
I like the forethought they've put into these games, but the problem is that we've now seen 3 games where Max has been slung. 2 of them worked out, 1 of them didn't really. I'm hoping that for our 4th game, which I don't remember what map it is Mongolia, hopefully we can see something a little bit different in the next game. That's what I'm hoping for at this point.
True. Sling is really kind of making itself so present. We're seeing that more and more in ECL at the moment. It is such a powerful strategy to kind of use, and a lot of people will say as well, quite basic in terms of how it's going to work. But end of the day, the civ choices there were good. The play was good behind it as well. A sling is only as good as the player it gets sent to.
Well, to be fair, there was 43,000 resources worth of sling, so...
Woo!
Like,
All right then, yeah.
It's a lot of sling.
That's true. If you can lose with 43 extra K resources in the bank, I guess that makes it a little bit harder.
Like, they really planned that out, right? They're like, okay, Mount Fuji, we're just gonna wall up, we're gonna triple sling Max with Goths and just go ham at it and just flood the map. Like, okay, I like that.